The title of the story is Ijoma, the Child of Light. Once upon a time, in the heart of the land, nestled among verdant hills and sprawling fields, there was a village known for its harmony and prosperity. But amidst this peaceful existence lived a woman whose story would become a legend of beauty, challenge, and divine purpose. Her name was Ijoma. Ijoma was renowned not just in her village, but across the entire clan for her extraordinary beauty. Her charm and grace were said to surpass those of any woman in the land. From a young age, her beauty was a subject of awe and admiration. She was betrothed to a man named Chuka when she was just a child. He promised mate between their families who were close friends and shared the same land and the same bond. This union was meant to strengthen the bond between the two families and ensure that their friendship continued through generations. As Ijoma grew, she realized that Chuka, though a good and kind man, did not meet the standards of her own lofty expectations. Her perception of beauty and desirability was influenced by her own radiant self, and she found it difficult to reconcile her feelings with the reality of her arranged marriage. Despite Chuka's unwavering love and his pleas, Ijoma's heart remained distant. Her parents and Chuka's parents had already envisioned his marriage as a way to finally bind their families together forever. But Ijoma felt trapped by the promise made long ago. The years passed after their marriage, and Ijoma's marriage to Chuka remained childless. This lack of children became a source of great distress for her. She had begun to suspect that something was inherently wrong with Chuka, believing that he was the cause of their childlessness. Her frustration and disappointment grew, and she saw their marriage as the curse rather than a blessing. The villagers whispered and gossiped about her, adding to her misery. One faithful day, as Ijoma visited a bustling market, her life took an unexpected turn. Amidst the glamour and the colorful display of goods, an old woman appeared seemingly from nowhere. The woman was shrouded in mystery and carried an aura of ancient wisdom. She approached Ichoma and touched her abdomen with a gentle hand, declaring, "You are with a child, and this child will be a beacon of light, grace, and blessings beyond what anyone can ever imagine and has ever seen." Stunned and bewildered by this encounter, Ijoma could hardly believe the old woman's words. How could she be pregnant when she had never felt any sign of pregnancy? Yet, as days passed, the reality of the old woman's prophecy began to clear when Ijoma discovered that she was indeed expecting a child. The news of her pregnancy was met with a mixture of disbelief and scorn. The villagers, already critical of her for her perceived curse, now saw her condition as a bizarre phenomenon. Ijoma endured cruel remarks and harsh judgment. The pregnancy extended for far beyond the typical 9 months, stretching into a full year. Her prolonged condition led the villagers to believe that something was profoundly wrong, and they whispered that her child was an abomination. Throughout this period, Ijoma cursed her faith and her marriage, feeling as though the universe had conspired against her. Despite her anguish, Ijoma found solace in the life growing inside her, holding on to the hope that the old woman's prophecy might be true. Finally, the day of delivery arrived, and Ijoma's labor was arduous. When she gave birth, the baby emerged with something strange, an egg clasped in her tiny hands. The sight of the child with the ex was met with horror and superstition. The villagers proclaimed her an evil child and an abomination, demanding that Ijoma abandon the child in the village of the face or wrath of the gods. Desperate and heartbroken, Ijoma decided to save a child from the wrath of the villagers. She took her baby into the forest after she was asked to throw the baby into the deep forest and forget about her there. Hence, she will cause the wrath of the gods in the village, intending to find a safe place for her child. However, as she navigated the forest paths, she encountered a dilemma. Fearing for her child's safety and unable to bring herself to harm the infant, she flew through a different route, leaving her village behind. Ijoma and her baby eventually reached a distant village, far from the judgmental heights of her old home. There, she encountered an old woman named Mamogo, known for her wisdom and kindness. Mamogo took Ijoma in and offered her a place to stay. The old woman, recognizing the divine potential in the child, agreed to help care for her. As the baby grew, her remarkable place saved for her. As the baby grew, her remarkable gifts began to manifest. She had an innate ability to heal people, foresee events, and speak prophecies that came true. The village, once a quiet place, soon thrived and flourished under the influence of the child, whom they named Adaeze, meaning princess, in honor of her extraordinary presence. Under Adaeze's influence, Ijeoma's life transformed. The village became prosperous, and its people revered Adaeze as a beacon of hope and blessing. Through her, Ijoma became a respected and influential figure, and her newfound wealth and status brought her immense satisfaction. Back in Ijoma's old village, things began to deteriorate. The once thriving community faced droughts and failed crops, a consequence of the displeased ghost. The villagers, plagued by hardship and turmoil, remembered the child of light and grace they had cast out. They pleaded for Ijoma and Adaeze to return, hoping that their presence will restore balance and prosperity. One morning, news came that Chuka, who had fallen gravely ill, was on the brink of death. The urgency of the situation compelled Ijoma to return to her old village, accompanied by Adaeze, now a young woman of remarkable beauty and grace. They arrived in the village to find it in dire straits. Upon their return, Ijoma and Adaeze were greeted with a mixture of astonishment and reverence. Their appearance was like the arrival of salvation. The village leaders, deeply remorseful, welcomed them back with an open arms. Ijoma and Adaeze used their influence and wisdom to turn things around. They revitalized the land, restored prosperity, and healed the rifts in the community. Chuka's health improved remarkably, and he too became a respected figure in the village. Grateful for the return of his wife and daughter, Ijoma and Adaeze's return not only restored the village to its former glory, but elevated it to new heights. The once scorned child was now celebrated as a miracle, and the village flourished as never before. The tale of Ijoma and Adaeze became a cherished legend in Igbo land. It spoke of the transformative power of faith, the resilience of the human spirit, and the boundless potential within each individual. It taught that true worth is not defined by one's individual circumstances or the judgment of the others, but by the strength to overcome adversity and fulfill one's divine purpose. Even when faced with immense challenges and harsh judgments, perseverance and faith in one's destiny can lead to miraculous transformation. The journey from rejection and despair to recognition and influence highlights the faith in us, and that embraces one's true calling can bring about blessings far beyond imagination. What is the moral of this story? Please subscribe, share, and like, and always turn on the notification button to feed your ears and thoughts with our wonderful stories. Thank you very much as you await a new story.